Close to Famous by Joan Bauer. Chapter 1. The last place I thought I'd be when this day began is where I am, which is in a car, my mama's car to be exact, and she's driving headstrong through downtown Memphis with an Elvis impersonator on our tail. I know the Elvis. His name is Huck. He's spitting mad, honking that horn that you couldn't soon forget. I was there when Huck wired that old yellow Cadillac to make that horn honk out Elvis's big hit, Jailhouse Rock. Drivers pull to the side of the road when he blasts that thing. We aren't pulling over for anything. It's 11:30 at night. Not many cars are around. It rained all day. The air feels thick. Mama leans over the wheel and tries to clean off the windshield. Can you see? I asked. Sort of. Sort of is better than no, but not by much. I look in the back seat at the box filled with my cooking supplies. Big trash bags of our stuff are piled around it. We left fast. Where are we going, Mama? She touches her eye. It looks swollen. We are going somewhere. I'm hoping for a place that you can find on a map. Try not to think about the last few hours until we have some time away from it, Foster. How am I supposed to do that? Memories of Huck breaking into our living room window fly at me like bits of glass. I try to fix a picture of Memphis into my mind so I can say goodbye, but mostly I think of things just as soon forget, like Johnny Joe Badger, who told me I was the stupidest girl in the 6th grade, like Mrs. Ryder, my main teacher, who agreed with him, like Mr. Clement Purvis, our landlord, who took singing lessons from Mama and had a voice like an injured dog, but he paid on time, so we dealt with it. But there was a Graceland, too, where the real Elvis lived. It's an actual mansion, which made sense because people called Elvis Presley the king of rock and roll. It had fountains and gardens and flowers everywhere. Huck took me there once, and he walked around like it was his own place. The problem with Huck is he really thinks he's Elvis, but that's not why he's chasing us. I grabbed a chocolate chip muffin from my bake and take carrier and take a bite. It's chewy from the touch of corn flour I used. I learned how to make muffins from Martine Morningstar, the muffin queen of Memphis. Mama says you can't just wait for things to happen. You've got to get out there and make your own breaks. So I showed up at Martine's shop. I'm going to have my own restaurant someday, I told her, and I was wondering if I could help you in your kitchen. I'll do anything at all, and you don't have to pay me. I just want to learn. She looked at me kind of strange, which I was expecting. I said, I'll thank you in my cookbook when it comes out, and I promise I won't even steal one of your recipes. And who might you be, young lady? I'm Foster McPhee, ma'am. I got an easy bake oven when I was 4, and the rest is history. She was paying attention now. In case you were wondering, my mom knows I'm here. She's pretty bad in the kitchen and is the worst baker ever. I'm looking for a cooking role model. Martine Morningstar studied me like I was a recipe. You know more about muffins than any person in the world. Probably, but I figure I had to start somewhere. She smiled. I walked up and down the streets of Memphis, passing out free samples. People wanted more. I reached into my bag and pulled out a pumpkin spice muffin with walnuts that was as moist as anything. It can be plain for breakfast, or you can top it off with a cream cheese frosting. I like muffins that go from day to evening. I gave it to her. She sniffed it. I nodded and held it up. How do I know you're not trying to poison me? I wasn't expecting that question. Miss Morningstar, I swear, if I was going to poison you, I wouldn't ruin a perfectly fine muffin to do it. She laughed, took a bite, and closed her eyes. That's the sound a baker wants to hear. Let's see. You've got canned pumpkin in here, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, butter, golden raisins. What else? How did she know the pumpkin was canned? Vanilla, I told her. I've been adding a touch more of vanilla lately. She stood there thinking. I suppose we could give this a try. I put on the apron I brought along. Mama made it for me. It was green with a shooting star on it. I'm going to be the best helper ever the best helper you ever dreamed of. I helped her on Tuesdays and Saturdays for most of the year, before she retired and closed up shop. I measured flour, lugged around huge cartons of eggs, and only dropped a few. I learned not to overmix the batter. I learned that if you run out of buttermilk, you can use milk and vinegar. I learned to make maple butter, which all by itself can make the world a better place. But mostly, I learned Martine's Morningstar's muffin truth. Never take a fine muffin for granted, she told me. It can open doors to the deepest recess of the human heart. The only recess I heard about was the kind that took place on the playground, but I sure wanted to touch people's hearts. Mama turned into the freeway. I think she could drive us to the end of the earth without a bathroom stop. It has been a while since I heard Huck's horn. Do you think he turned back? I asked. Maybe. She looked like she could use a hug, but it's a bad idea to hug someone who's driving. I hand her a muffin instead. How's your eye, Mama? It sure looks swollen. A muffin will help. She takes a big bite. I needed this.